Alright guys, welcome back. Here we go. This is the third and final game here between Complexity's CatZ and Fnatic NightEnd. We are of course now tied up 1-1 between these two very interesting and relatively short games for the first and second game. Now this time you can see we are here on the Shattered Temple. We've got NightEnd spawning in the 3 o'clock position as our blue Protoss player, and here is CatZ in the 12 o'clock position as the yellow Zerg player. Now we can see they are in that close air distance position here, relatively close as the crow flies, as it were. And as a result, we may very well see some type of airplay. Quite possible we may be seeing some muta harass from CatZ, and NightEnd even could possibly get away with some sort of Warp Prism harass. Now we can see CatZ moving directly towards NightEnd's base with that initial Overlord. We'll be getting that scout. Hopefully we do see NightEnd manage to catch wind of that so that he himself will know exactly where CatZ is as well. CatZ getting just enough vision to spot that Nexus, and he actually will be now going straight towards the front of NightEnd's main base and natural expansion, and he will be trying to scout out exactly what NightEnd is doing. And as we can see, NightEnd once more going with that Forge Fast Expand. This isn't the most popular map to do it on, and we're going to be seeing that wall off going in this position here, starting with the Forge there, then moving into the gateway, trying to bunker up right next to that Nexus with that quick expand. Now, do keep in mind with the fact that we are seeing that Forge Fast Expand again from NightEnd, this is going to make it difficult for CatZ to do any sort of a quick expand build, because he will have to deal with cannon harass. Now we can see the drone moving down right now, and will he be trying to drop that hatch right away? I do expect NightEnd to try to delay this as much as possible, and we're going to be seeing the drone and the probe dance around a little bit as we see CatZ attempt to drop that hatchery. Not going to happen though. Hopefully he just drops a spawning pool, and there it is. Spawning pool gets dropped at the same time as that pylon. CatZ realizing he is going to have to start on one base play. Really nothing that he can do about that. At the same time, with his Overlord, CatZ has scouted out that Forge, so he doesn't know to keep an eye out for possible cannon harass. We saw it last game. It's certainly quite possible that NightEnd may be doing it again this game, but honestly, the fact that he was able to delay that expansion as is, certainly enough for him at the moment. And I do expect CatZ to just wait until he's getting those initial Zerglings to even try to get this expansion, because again, he can expect cannon harass if he tries to drop that hatchery before those Zerglings are up. And look at this! Second game in a row, CatZ will be trying to drop a hatchery inside of the main of NightEnd. And I'm not sure if this one's going to be as effective, because that is very susceptible to scouting. Just going to be a moment or two. NightEnd's now moving up, and is he going to manage to see it? And there it is, fully aware. So hopefully CatZ just goes ahead and cancels that, because again, really not going to be able to get this up at all. Once his pylon finishes, we'll be seeing probably just 1 or 2 cannons, and that'll be enough. Even trying to get us around right now on the hatchery, trying to force CatZ to cancel this a little bit sooner. And actually, it'd be wise of CatZ to let this go as close to finishing as possible and then canceling it. And that way, there's a lot more mining downtime here for NightEnd's probes, because again, this is a lot of time that these probes are not mining. So if CatZ just lets this go for a little while longer, that could actually be very strong. Look at this, just such a crazy fast layer here from CatZ. I've been seeing some very interesting play from him so far in this series. And as you can see, CatZ is going to let that go as long as possible, and then pretty much cancel at the exact last moment. So once more forcing NightEnd to stay off of the line with all of these workers here, and here comes the cancel in just 1 moment. Come on, CatZ, there you go. So canceling it off just as expected, and now NightEnd's going to be able to go back to mining at last, but still, that was a lot of time, lots of mining downtime there. Back over here, a couple Zerglings right now for CatZ, scouting out and actually getting 1 free probe kill there, and may actually try to do a little bit of damage to this Nexus. I think they should be able to hit this Nexus, maybe just out of the range of that cannon. Not sure though. Definitely not out of the range of that cannon though. So now these Zerglings will not be able to do any damage whatsoever to that Nexus. We've got a secondary probe scout getting ready to move out right now, and there we go. The Zerglings taking some shots there from that cannon. So hopefully CatZ just try to pull away with that. But again, as you can see, even if those Zerglings pull down here, they will be getting hit by that cannon. So here comes Zell to finish them off. Back over here, NightEnd moving up with his probe scout, and we will actually be seeing CatZ move down, trying to prevent that probe from doing anything too fancy. He must be really concerned about possible cannon harass. But take a look at this, managing to spot that very fast layer as well as that spire, and this pretty much just tips NightEnd off, like, hey, okay, mutas are coming, so I just need to make sure I'm a little bit stalker heavy, and I should be all set. And again, for the second time, CatZ trying for this in-base hatchery. I do not know what he is thinking here. I'm assuming just because he realized, hey, you know, this drone can't even leave the base. There's cannons out front and more units. And maybe I'll just see if I can sneak in that in-base hatch. But again, CatZ not going to be able to do that. We've got another pylon being placed over there. We will be having a few workers, but more importantly, the Zealot moving down. And actually, is CatZ going to let this finish because it is very close to popping right now? No, decided to just cancel it off, kind of as expected there. So CatZ trying twice in a row there for that in-base hatch inside of NightEnd's base, but unfortunately not able to actually pull that off. A couple more Zerglings preparing to move up for some secondary scouting. Let's take a look at what both players are doing. Well, we do have that Cybernex Core Cronin boosting up that Warp Gate research. Another gateway getting placed down as well. Very important to note, look at this. We've got the pathogen glands coming out for some infestors. So, well, that's unreal. He canceled off his Spire. CatZ canceled off his Spire after the fact that NightEnd scouted it and decided to just go right into Infestor play. Very, very interesting indeed. But the problem is, I mean, look at this. We're just hitting the 8-minute mark, getting close to the 10-minute in-game mark, and there's still really nothing in play for either player. There's just been so much interesting type of harass early game and early game tactics from both players. And as a result, the typical metagame has been incredibly delayed. Now, those pathogen glands just about to finish. As you can see, a few infestors are coming out there in the production tab. Also, that metabolic boost just about finished now at the 8-minute 40-second mark in the game. The metabolic boost is almost done. Lots of gateways coming out here for NightEnd. He's also got the level 1 upgrade coming, so we'll be switching into gateway heavy plus that level 1 upgrade. Again, he is expecting, as far as I know, he is still expecting that Spire. He has no idea that infestors are going to be in play, and as we can see, there is no robotics either, so he won't be getting any observer scouts anytime soon either. This could be a very strong transition here for CatZ, and I'm not so certain that NightEnd's going to be able to deal with it. Really, he just needs to make sure he's able to target fire down those infestors whenever that engagement does come through, and then he should be all set. But man, this could really catch him by surprise and prove to be very, very effective for CatZ. So at the moment, we have got a total of 4 infestors in play. We are also seeing an Overseer come out over here. This will be getting some scouting done for CatZ. A third expansion is up over here for CatZ as well. Now, as we can see, NightEnd is preparing himself to move on into his third. Breaking down the destructible rocks will allow him to work right down here. We do have that burrow research coming out. Now, do we have a Roach Warren? I do not believe so. I think we're just sticking to Speedling. Yep, just Speedling Infestor at the moment is really all that CatZ will be going with. Feeling pretty content with that at the moment again. And just these 4 infestors, getting them nice and early to try to save up some energy. We also have 1 changeling inside of the main base, and that's actually going to get some pretty decent scouting here, working on down, and unfortunately stopping a bit short before he could manage to scout out that Twilight Council. That would have been some very important information for him. Now take a look over here. We can see NightEnd has dropped that Nexus already. Also a pylon being placed over here for him to keep an eye on those back rocks. A couple observers kind of dancing around over there. Don't know why I'm making mention of those. But yes, the main unit composition right now for CatZ is in fact Speedling Infestor, and that is what he will be sticking with at these early middle stages of the game. We also have a robotics facility coming out right now for NightEnd that will allow him to get out as observer and hopefully get some scouting so he can have a good idea of what he's going to be up against, because right now I'm not entirely sure that he's prepared for this Infestor Speedling build that we are seeing CatZ play around with. And we also have CatZ preparing to move into that high yield expansion, actually taking a moment break from that, heading instead towards the center of the map, and he will be using those Speedlings to try to deny the Zealots from scouting out those Infestors and then going back to town over here on those destructible rocks. And there we go, a few more Speedlings coming out over here as well. NightEnd preparing a push right now, moving across the map. Stalker heavy, get a few sentries in the mix, plus a couple of Zealots. 1 Zealot actually moving out, and again, just like the last one, we'll be attempting to get some scouting information. And let's see, yeah, he's going to get it. He's going to spot those infestors right now. 20 more Zerglings coming out as well. It actually looks like we will be seeing CatZ move out with a very strong push sometime very soon. Couple Speedlings over here pushing back the bulk of NightEnd's forces. And NightEnd is going to have to deal with this a very strong Speedling infestor push that we will be seeing here from CatZ. Now, CatZ does also have that burrow research, so he can utilize these burrowed infestors. Just be a little wary, though, because we also have an observer. And look at that, nicely placed right at the front there to allow him to see any type of harass that may be moving. Just give him a little bit of that extra time, just scouting out a little bit earlier, especially given the fact that he does not have control of the center of the map anymore. High yield expansion again plays down right now for CatZ. Here comes that push. More infestors in production right now. Also the Carapace level 1 upgrades coming through. Speedlings trying to push forward. Needs to be very careful about that force field wall. We do have a few High Templar in play here for NightEnd, and that could be very, very effective against these infestors. And there are the feedbacks. The burrowed infestors, not realizing he's spotted there by the observer. Those infested Terrans will be doing a bit of damage. Also some fungal growth action going down. Infested Terrans trying to drop those High Templar. We got a couple High Templar in the back. Needs to be so careful. More feedbacks. That was devastating for CatZ. He took tremendous losses there. Let's take a look at the resources loss. That engagement was pretty awful for CatZ. Unfortunately, did not work out in his favor. You know, he had that surprise tech, and he was able to catch NightEnd by surprise with it, but unfortunately with that observer, able to spot those burrowed infestors, and that allowed for the quick feedback from those High Templar. And right now, in all honesty, NightEnd in a solid position. Again, that was just an awful, awful loss there for CatZ. CatZ moving out with a few more Speedlings. We'll be trying to scout out some expansions, also possibly checking for any sort of proxy pylons or anything fancy that might be going on. The bulk of the forces over there for NightEnd. We do have those Speedlings again, just trying to continue to dance around the map. Now, any sort of transition that we're going to be seeing here from CatZ, it looks like he's actually going to be sticking pretty much the same Speedling Infestor, just not popping up at that Roach Warren, though. Also a Baneling that's coming on through, so hopefully we see some sort of a transition. Speedling Infestor will not be the greatest right now against what we are seeing NightEnd sit with. Zealot heavy. I expect these are charged Zealots, and yes, they are. Plus those High Templar laying down storms, and those feedbacks for those infestors can be really devastating. So hopefully CatZ is careful about that. Needs to just be very, very wary about when he decides to engage and make sure that he's got the proper tech to deal with what we're seeing NightEnd sitting with right now. Speedling Scout over here, scouting out to see if NightEnd expands into that expansion. As we can see, NightEnd is now just on those 4 bases. At the same time, we've got CatZ on 4 bases. So hopefully we do see him move into a 5th. And it actually looks like we may be seeing NightEnd move out with a push, scouting forward first with that observer. He'll be scouting out the unit composition. We've got a bunch of Banelings being morphed in right now, a few Speedlings, a couple of Roaches in the mix, and Infestors as well. Noah Parasite coming on through. Got some more upgrades coming out as well for CatZ. He is 1-0 right now. We'll just be getting that level 1 melee attack upgrade very, very momentarily as well. And pulling back with his forces right now, NightEnd deciding he's not comfortable engaging. He wants to wait a little bit longer. Hopefully he's going to be getting a little bit closer to that supply cap of 200 and then deciding to push out at that point. Some more upgrades coming out for him as well. Level 2 weapons upgrade also coming out with the level 2 armor upgrade immediately after that. And again, prepared to push towards the middle. NightEnd moving forward, grabbing that Xel'Naga Tower. The bulk of CatZ forces are right here. Now, again, as we saw prior, CatZ is a little bit behind, and I say a little bit tongue-in-cheek because he is way more than a little bit behind after that first devastating losses that he took from that first big engagement that we did see. And again, we're just going to be seeing CatZ continuously throw Zerglings towards his tower, even though he's been losing them to Fnatic. Fnatic NightEnd pushing towards that. He just wants to see what's going on. He wants to check that unit composition, know exactly what he is up against. We do have that speed upgrade coming out for the Overlords. Also the the transport upgrade. That's going to allow him to do some of that Baneling dropping that can be so very effective, and that will be very interesting to see if he manages to get that out in time before NightEnd decides to push. A little bit of creep spread going down over here for CatZ as well, trying to delay any possible expansion. Also, a burrowed Zergling will be helping delay an expansion over here. Finally, some more mobilization for NightEnd, but still nothing actually solidifying here. We've got a couple of changelings moving forward. That managed to scout out the force pushing, and this gives CatZ a little bit of scouting information. Actually, moving forward with the infested Terran as well, that will be allowing him to shoot down that observer. Not enough damage to actually be able to take him out. And here comes a push moving in this direction right now for NightEnd. NightEnd's going straight for those Expos, pushing back right now towards the high yield, and here we go. We will be seeing CatZ prepare to move forward towards that as well. We do have all of the research complete right now for the Overlords to be able to do some dropping. A couple of Speedlings trying to bait some of those storms there from those High Templar. Still not committing. Not a lot of damage has been done yet, though, by NightEnd, so he's really maybe not too concerned about committing yet. Banelings are in the Overlords. Here comes the push. Couple Neuroparasites going down. Those Infestors get quickly fed back down. We've got those Banelings getting ready to drop on the bulk of the forces, and look at how much damage those Banelings are able to do. And with the help of the Roaches, that Baneling dropping, completely mopping up the forces. But look at this, at the exact same time, lots of charged Zealots up in the main from that War Prism. This could be a huge problem. He's going to be losing a lot of his tech. That layer just about getting taken out right now. A few more Zealots taking out the spawning pool as well. The layer is gone, and this is problematic right now for CatZ. He's losing all of his tech. and he's not responding at all. What is he doing? He's got the bulk of his forces over here, still trying to mop up a few of the Protoss forces left here for NightEnd, but look at all of the losses, and he's going to be losing that infestation pit as well. We got CatZ rebuilding that Roach Warren elsewhere, but my gosh, this is so devastating right now. He pretty much lost all of his tech buildings, rebuilding the spawning pool as well. Very, very effective Zealot Bomb there from NightEnd, and I am really not sure. That's pretty terrible. Now, I expect basically NightEnd to rebuild up his forces and then just push out again, especially given that tech-wise, CatZ has lost so much. So here we go, some more charged Zealots coming in, lots of High Templars plus those Archons, and here comes the push. Couple Infestors getting caught in transit. Those get quickly taken out. This high yield expansion is going to be a target here, and that will get taken out pretty quickly as well. We've got a couple of Zealots trying to provide a buffer against those Speedlings. Speedlings actually moving out for a counterattack right now. Zealots pushing forward with the Archons up immediately behind. We do have a few High Templar plus the Archons moving on into this expansion as well, and NightEnd is just hitting at multiple positions at once. Zealots plus those Archons tearing through the small amount of forces over here, and not a whole lot that CatZ is able to do to defend against this. He's going to be losing this expansion as well. The high yield expansion very close to getting dropped, and these Zealots mopping up the rest. Those Archons doing so much damage. Speedlings get mopped up over there, so CatZ counterattack didn't end up doing much damage at all. We got some more High Templars moving up. Zealot's going to move down to allow him to take out this hatchery, and CatZ is pretty much out of the game right now. He's just lost so much. That Zealot Bomb, again, proving to be so effective there for NightEnd. CatZ not responding nearly quickly enough, and continuous aggression coming out here for NightEnd, and it's really just a matter of time. CatZ really in a terrible position right now. We take a look at the income. He's got nothing going on. NightEnd in a very, very strong position. Couple of infested Terrans down here managing to do some damage, but still CatZ forced to call the GG. Very interesting series here between NightEnd and CatZ, and hopefully you guys did enjoy the commentary. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.